I'll take one more day off and knock out the rest of the work once I'm feeling up to it.
Hello, xin chào các bạn. Chào mừng các bạn đến với channel của mình. Mình là Gloless. What? Em không biết thôi. Hôm nay thì hành trình cốt truyện của Genshin càng lại bể mở không bao nhiêu chưa hết trơn. Cho nên cái tiếp theo mình lựa chọn đó là cốt truyện của gia đình Chương A phần 2. Đó là một phần là mình cũng muốn mở khóa mấy nhân vật ở bên mở khóa mấy nhân vật bên cờ mà. So yeah, either way, started. Mình từ từ cái mình không qua cái tuổi
đấy vẫn cho nhưng mà các bạn là đi kiểu là anh ơi làm gì vậy không có cái hồi nào chỉ đi chui á cái tổ lao động chỉ đi chui á đi du lịch mấy nước xong rồi đi chui á đi chui á cái vậy rồi đi qua một du lịch nước khác.
Ad Astra Abyssosque. Recently, the Adventurers Guild has received an unusual commission, and after careful consideration, we believe that
nhờ hành động cu ly.
The traveler would be the most suitable candidate, right?
Indeed, as ever. I will spare the pleasantries then. May I ask if you two are available to help? Well, let me go over it briefly. Our client for this job is the Yashiro Commission. Apparently, Rift Towns are attacking the roots of the sacred sakura nearby Mount Yogo in great numbers.
Rift Towns? On Narukami Island?
Yes. We are not sure where exactly these creatures come from. But this time, they are attacking in alarming numbers with great aggression and a clear target. The sacred sakura is of tremendous importance to Inazuma. I trek good. Then you can see that this case is very urgent indeed.
Is the Tenryo Commission around?
Yes, and they are already taking action of their own. However, given that the sacred sakura's root system is vast and complex, and faced with the unpredictability and scale of the Rift Town's attacks, they are finding it difficult to defend against them. Their main priority is to protect the civilian population, so they are actively looking to cooperate with all other available forces to eliminate the monsters. The Adventurers Guild is one of the key parties assisting the Tenryo Commission with their work. But so far, the combined efforts to combat the Rift Towns has failed to substantially ameliorate the situation. You have our deepest gratitude. Your confident response puts me far. I will mark on your map the areas where Rift Town appearances have been recently reported. I hope you won't encounter too much trouble overcoming them.
We'll be back before you can say that.
Nói cho cả nhiều quá, mình có mệt lắm. Mình có mệt luôn.
Hôm qua hai bè tay nó gỡ gì á bây giờ mày có bị điên không mà cách cao này bóp cách cao này bạn đây ba cái cao rồi
Sacred Sakura's in danger again, huh? Who had thought?
Mình cũng gồm là
Sacred Sakura saved by Hanachi Musato's greatest wish. Now these mangy mutts are trying to destroy it. Time to teach him a lesson.
bạn nghĩ mình nhớ là mình rồi. Fuck.
Let the show begin. You're attacking the sacred Sakura! Step down!
Quietly now.
Có lương đâu ứng
Mình làm sư này.
You can... Wait, no. Could also be A.
Oh, it's you two.
Đây.
It has been a long time. We have not seen each other since the resolution of the Tenryou Commission crisis.
Okay, sounds more like A. You sure make short work of them.
I'm making early preparations for what is to come. Last time we took a walk around Inazuma together, I witnessed the way the world is today. I was finally able to comprehend some things that I had never understood in the past.
Okay.
Since then, every time I encounter an obstacle in my thinking, I find myself having the urge to spend some time in the outside world.
Thấy cầm đích rồi.
Makes sense. You must get super bored being stuck in there all the time.
Might I remind you that I am not here to amuse myself?
Okay.
Recently, I have observed a number of changes in the external world from the plane of Euthymia. The most serious of these being the attack on the sacred Sakura by numerous rift hounds. I considered this matter worthy of my attention, so I pursued them, and they led me here, where I happened to run into you. If the Shogun rather than I were to discover them, yes, perhaps she would have left the situation alone.
Okay.
Why? Because she's just a puppet?
Precisely. According to the rules I designed for her, matters of this nature are to be delegated to the
Vậy là không liên quan tới
Tri-Commission.
đây, sư quên này cầm ăn của đó sẽ không xử lý.
But rift hounds attacking the sacred Sakura. It brings back bad memories of that terrible disaster.
A disaster?
Yes. 500 years ago, a great catastrophe befell Inazuma. Everything was engulfed in a pitch-black fog, and monsters ravaged the land. Countless lives were lost, and this homeland that the people had worked so hard to build barely escaped being obliterated entirely.
Gần như bị vỡ vậy đấy.
The monsters committed many atrocities on Inazuman soil, and the rift hounds were always their advance guard.
Ồ, cái sự kiện này là do sư phụ của Abido tạo ra này.
Their duty was to tear open a passage through space with their claws and teeth, and then call in even more powerful beasts.
Nó sẽ ra cùng lần với lại
So you heard of it too. That's an episode of history that I am loath to recall. Maybe to you, it seems like my response to these creatures was an excessive one. But an excess of caution is not unwarranted in this case.
Guess you can't argue with that.
Since we are both here for the same reason, let us work together. From the traces they've left in the surrounding area, there should be many more.
I feel so safe when we're in Ace company. Having someone uber powerful on your team kind of makes you feel invincible, doesn't it? Oh yeah, after we deal with the monsters, we should ask her to tell us more about Conria.
Cambria.
This color. Similar to the color when the sacred Sakura takes damage. Let's follow it. It should be this way.
Bị cay. This way. Side.
We are lucky. The damage is not too serious. The Yashiro Commission will be able to nurse the root system back to health.
Okay.
This stuff that's flowing out, is it sap or something? And how come it's glowing? What's this?
Đâu anh?
It wouldn't be the first time we'd seen ghosts on our journey. Why would they appear here?
Let's search the area. Perhaps we will find out.
Một cái không hay, cái hay đâu.
Ok, một vía.
Hôm nay là chào mừng các bạn đến với kênh của mình đó.
Nghe tiếng kêu vọng vọng ấy.
I can't go on like this.
Hello mọi người.
Not when the other troops are counting on me.
What happened here? Could you...
Who are you? What are you doing here? Run quick while you still can. The monsters will be back. Once you're in their sights, I'm telling you there's no escaping them. We will defend Inazuma until our dying breath. You don't know? Inazuma is engulfed in darkness. Beasts and horrifying monsters are everywhere. They are merciless, ferocious, and they will devour everything in their path. Every last trace of humanity's existence, I tell you. They'll devour it all.
Look! None of that seems to be going on around here.
Not right now, but they'll be back.
Có đủ nữa đang.
Look, get out of here. Now, there's no time left.
Ở đây luôn á.
The almighty shogun is gone. So is Kitsune Saigo. There is no one left to rely on but ourselves.
Saigu. Gia tộc Kojo à?
I don't know how long we can hold out for. But if we abandon our hope, then we've got nothing left at all.
Don't worry, I'm right here.
It's the Shogun? You're back. Please, we beg you. You have to help us. You have to save Inazuma. Only the glow of your supreme lightning can dispel this terrible darkness. Please, or the whole of Inazuma will be reduced to a hunting ground for the beasts.
Calm down. The war you speak of is over.
Over? But what do you mean? Shogun,
Look around you. The grass grows green and lush, and a soft breeze blows. This is Inazuma at peace, as you will no doubt remember.
Sắp xếp ở tầm năm kia kìa.
There are no monsters, nor is there anything else here that could threaten your life.
just moments ago they were everywhere. I saw them tear my comrade to shreds with my own eyes.
Hey, calm down.
I think I understand. All my... Yes, we were right to place our trust in the almighty Shogun. As long as the Shogun is with us, Inazuma will last for an eternity. Thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you, thank you.
Đọc con nghe, mắt e luôn.
He's gone.
Paimon can't even begin to understand what that was all about. But somehow, Paimon feels all sad and hopeless.
If I am not mistaken, what we just saw was a samurai's memory that was buried in the land. The sacred sakura can absorb and purify the filth in the ley lines. After the Rift Hounds attacked, some of this filth leaked out through the cracks in the trunk and formed a physical entity. An entity formed with strong filth would be highly aggressive. But when purified, it presents in the form of a memory. Purified filth quickly dissipates and will be absorbed by the ley lines shortly afterwards. In other words,
So the memories of the ones that died are all appearing at this moment?
yes, that soldier was one of the many thousands who made the ultimate sacrifice. What he was describing just now? Yes. Inazuma was facing many great crises at that time. Some were local in origin, while others came from the now fallen kingdom of Kanria. The disaster in Inazuma caused me great concern. I felt that I had to step in before it was too late. Otherwise, it would spread to all of Teyvat. But my friend, Kitsune Saigo, reassured me that I had nothing to worry about. She would shoulder the responsibility of protecting Inazuma and mobilize all forces at her disposal to combat the threat. I could tell that, although neither of us acknowledged it, We both knew that the road ahead would likely end in tragedy.
So, Inazuma was attacked at the same time as when the disaster happened in Kanria?
Indeed. Countless monsters suddenly appeared throughout all of Inazuma. In the end, Kitsune Saigu sacrificed her life to protect the people. I never had the chance to see her one last time. But I would like to believe that she kept her promise to me until the very last. But even then, Inazuma was left more devastated than we could have ever imagined. Those days. Yes. For the longest time, I couldn't bring myself to face the pain of that loss. All my martial might was in vain. Though I could conquer Tatarigami and vanquish monsters, I was helpless against the ravages of time, powerless to keep the ones I cherished alive. But after my clash with human ambition, I thought long and hard. Now I realize I cannot fixate on the past forever.
Còn rồi em nó xong chưa ta?
Ủa còn hộp cơm nữa là chưa ăn hả? Để luôn. Đặt cơm mà dư ngồi đi nó đổ. Tự là biết mà. Đưa cơm ra đưa chuyện buôn cơm đủ là đưa cơm. Đấy anh ơi ạ. Rồi thế là có cơm ăn tối rồi. Thế là em phải đóng tiền rồi. Đấy là lấy cơm. Có bia rồi, có lan bự. Chỉ là tôi không. Sao lắm á? Anh lấy liên quan. Vậy anh không vào được Facebook.
When I traveled around Inazuma, moving forward, inevitably just think of that soldier. Despite all the losses he had experienced, he still chose to keep fighting for the sake of moving forward. All those who sacrificed themselves back then gave their lives fighting for a future. But perhaps the future they were hoping for is not the eternity that I once strove for. As Inazuma's god, it is high time I honored their wishes.
Giọng cứ bụt bụt sao ấy.
Warriors of the past, who spilled your blood on this land, your noble souls now rest in this earth. I will never forget you, and all that you did for Inazuma.
He's taking all this pretty hard.
Come on, let's keep investigating the damage to the sacred Sakura.
Okay, let's get going then.
Come on, we can do it. Expected, there are a load of rift hounds here too.
Leave them to me. Illusion shattered. Now you shall perish.
Em cứ lấy hết rồi. Lấy hết luôn rồi. Anh cũng follow mình nè.
Something seems wrong with A.
Ủa?
Vô bấm. Em đâu bấm. Em đâu bấm là vô bấm. Vô gắn này.
Why would you ask that?
Well, usually you'd pull out your sword and swish, vaporize them all in one.
You are unduly concerned. I'm simply conserving my energy. Although I have some understanding of the situation already, it could take an unexpected turn at any time.
Are you sure about that?
I must be prepared for anything. If there are more formidable monsters lying in wait in this area, I must make sure I have...
Ah, makes sense. Spoken like a seasoned shogun. The roots seem pretty badly damaged this time. We definitely need to tell you. Hey, the same light is leaking out again.
Thầy bạn ơi, thầy không em chú làm lại lần nữa.
Lâu nằm không nằm đâu nhớ.
What brings you back so soon? I thought you were off fighting a battle in a distant land.
Fighting a battle in a distant land? Sounds like this guy's talking about 500 years ago, too.
Allow me to introduce Furuyama. He is a tea master and a member of my retinue.
Tea master.
Though blind, Furuyama is unparalleled in his ability to appraise tea. He brews some of the very finest tea in all of Inazuma.
Your Excellency, you shower me with praise undeserved. I have simply had the good fortune to be in Your Excellency's presence long enough to become acquainted with all the skills that are required of me.
Okay.
It sounds like the Almighty Shogun has brought a guest. I'm afraid I'm unable to serve you any respectable refreshments on account of the current situation. But please, sit and rest. After all, it's quite a mess out there.
What should we do? Yeah.
I see. So, they have fought their way this far already. Most of the residents in this
Nói
neighborhood
đào
have
thôi mà
already
buồn ghê đi
escaped.
trời.
And now the Almighty Shogun is here, I have even less reason to run away. Imagine if this was something that even the Almighty Shogun was powerless to resolve. Where could I possibly run to then?
Đến nha.
People flee out of a desire to live on. And the desire to live on stems from a feeling of having unfinished business in life. Me, I have no such thoughts, and I have no regrets.
Kiểu không mở được rồi để không bị chết nha.
The Almighty Shogun often speaks to me about her dreams over tea. Just listening to her stories. I've been blind for many years, but her vivid descriptions took me on a splendid journey to all the
Thế
most
là ai
beautiful
cũng
places in
từ
Inazuma.
từ lắm mà.
One thing she always says is, good things don't last forever. Everything changes, fades, disappears completely over the passage of time. And so, people must make the most of the life they have. So you see, as bleak as things may be now, I have experienced countless wonderful things in life and have no reason not to be satisfied.
Perhaps you are right.
It won't be long now before I have to say goodbye to the Almighty Shogun for the last time. What a pity. How lovely to see what Inazuma looks like after
Cái
the
nhỏ xì. Rồi.
I suppose it doesn't matter.
Hả?
Everyone says that Inazuma has turned dark now. To me, once this catastrophe is over, life is sure to spring forth anew. But even if I survived until then, I'd probably be a hopelessly befuddled old so-and-so by... Oh, goodness me. Speaking of befuddled, look at me rambling away to my heart's content and forgetting to serve the tea. The almighty Shogun comes to visit and I don't have the tea ready. A truly egregious loss of decorum. One moment, I'll just... Where in the world is the tea set?
Okay.
I hope the others didn't smash it to smithereens in their hasty departure.
Can't see a tea set anywhere around here.
Really? It's always been right by my side. I couldn't possibly have my guests fetch it themselves. That would be most discourteous indeed.
Yeah, that not exist.
Don't worry about it. Take a rest. We'll be back right away.
Almighty Shogun, you're not going too, are you? No, no, no. Your humble servant implores you, not with the war raging outside.
Rồi, lòng tiếng trong đi hay thế. Hay phết chưa?
This place is complicated. It's quite unlike the tea house in your memories. Leave it to us.
Well, okay. I never thought I'd see the day that I need the almighty Shogun to personally collect my tea set for me. I can't decide whether it's a final regret or a final stroke of good fortune.
Where should we go to find the tea?
Kamisato. Kamisato lấy bụi bánh cà. Cháo.
Having a cup of tea isn't exactly the most urgent thing to do right now, but...
It's the traveler. And the almighty Shogun. How might I be of assistance, Your Excellency?
I wish to borrow a tea set from the Yashiro Commission.
Sure. I'll fetch that for you right... Police step into the courtyard and have arrest, almighty Shogun. Oh, and I'll inform my lord about your visit immediately. And the tea set.
Be at ease. I'm not here to see Commissioner Kamisato. Actually, I prefer to spend this time chatting with the traveler. Please, fetch the tea set at your convenience.
I'm your humble servant. I daren't think of my own convenience when the almighty Shogun graces me with her presence. I'll deal with it right away.
Well, it's not often we have the chance to chat. I'm sure...
Right. Paimon wanted to ask that too.
I seldom had the time to drink tea. Any free time I had was spent, in the vast majority of cases, the one he made tea for was the former Electro Archon, who was also my sister, Raiden Makoto. He may well have had an inkling about there being two Raiden Shoguns, but he always acted as if he was completely unaware of it. The philosophy of life that he shared with us just now, that was Makoto's view on reality.
You and Makoto had pretty different views, huh?
Indeed we did. It was the biggest difference between us. In her eyes, the most precious things in this world were dreams. The yearning for a better future held by living beings.
Ủa, được like luôn, được liền kìa.
They are similar, but not identical. When you came charging into the plane of Euthymia, I saw human aspirations light up the sky far above in the form of countless stars. Now, it seems like she was right, while I took the wayward path.
Wow. There sure was a lot going on beneath the surface.
Makoto saw a bigger picture than I did. In her view, a dream is more imaginary, more abstract than an ambition.
Mơ với ước mơ với nguyện vọng mà.
An ambition is a yearning for something material or a concrete outcome. It is finite in nature and will be replaced by a new ambition in due course.
Nguyện vọng là vật chất hoặc hồi kết.
Makoto was more concerned with the force that drives humans to constantly generate new ambitions in the first place. It is something innate, rooted in instinct, In other words, it is something eternal.
What?
That's
What?
quite a lot to take in.
To put it simply, Makoto wasn't concerned about outcomes. I didn't understand at the time. How can we say that we are maintaining eternity when things are constantly moving forward and evolving? I suppose what it comes down to is the definition of eternity she set out with. Yes, it does. I always thought that she must have grasped some elusive, arcane wisdom to arrive at the conclusions she did.
Một loại trí tuệ uyên thâm và khó nắm bắt.
But in the last analysis, Makoto's philosophy was, on the surface at least, an elegantly simple one. Notwithstanding that it was also the more prudent choice, based on a more mature, far-sighted outlook.
Do you feel you're starting?
You have already witnessed my previous views on eternity.
Alright.
But now, I no longer cling to what was lost. I suppose that means our differences have been reconciled.
Almighty Shogun, I found a tea set. This one in particular should be fit for your Excellency's use.
It's quite beautiful. Thank you.
You are too kind. A humble servant such as I does not deserve the gratitude of the Almighty Shogun.
It's all good, sir. She's actually pretty chill.
Let us return. We ought not keep Furuyama.
Hy vọng là ổng cầu ở đó.
Where'd he go? He wouldn't have gone looking for a tea set himself, would he?
Or perhaps the ley lines did not have the power to sustain him for very long.
So we won't get to drink his tea?
Rồi vấn đề ở đây à?
We didn't even have a chance to say goodbye.
The information held in the ley lines is complex and disorderly. The fact that we were able to meet him to begin with was a miracle of fate. Well, this chance won't come often, and we do have a tea set. Perhaps I should try my hand at making us a pot of tea. I've watched Furuyama brew tea on many occasions. I doubt I should have any major problems doing it myself.
I don't know. Something evil.
The tea is ready. Please give it a try. So many thoughts were racing through my head as I was brewing it. You're right. But the things we've seen today have brought back many memories from... I've been reminded of many people, too. Kitsune Saigu, Makoto, and all the other friends who I watched pass even. Back at the Yashiro Commission, I kept the conversation reasonably lighthearted. But now, the events of 500 years ago not only robbed me of my friend, Kitsune Saigu,
Makoto là chị của Raiden.
they also took Makoto away from
lao động
me
tình nguyện.
for good.
She died in that disaster too?
Yes. She went to Konria alone, without telling me. Unlike me, Makoto was no martial artist. Whenever similar crises had arisen in the past, I was always the one to face them in her stead. But this time, The circumstances were so grave that Makoto had no choice but to leave me behind. Or perhaps it was more that she went ahead of me, put herself in front of me, so that I would remain hidden. Yes. It was too late. I arrived only in time to hear her dying breath. She had already lapsed into unconsciousness by that point, so all I could do was enter into her mind. As far as you're concerned, it would be somewhere similar to the plane of euthymia. It was there that we bid each other a final farewell. I cried bitterly. Even in those final moments, I couldn't understand her actions. Why did she go to Conria first, and not I? Why did she keep me in the dark about it? Was it to shield me? It was there and then that I resolved to pursue eternity. As a testament to that decision, I saved her realm of consciousness just before it collapsed completely and brought it back to Inazuma.
That's quite a story.
When I returned to Inazuma, I was shocked to find that a great sakura tree had appeared on Mount Yogo. That's exactly what everyone back then told me as well. That it had existed since time immemorial. They were so matter-of-fact about it, and couldn't at all understand what I was so surprised about. No one questioned it, and yet its presence contrasted so starkly with the area as I remembered it. It seemed as if I was the only one to have noticed it appear suddenly out of thin air. In the end, I simply had to accept that it was a miraculous effect of Makoto's consciousness. With the help of the sacred Sakura's power, I was finally able to overcome the monsters and quell the disaster in Inazuma.
This is all really hard to understand.
Yes. She had such a great love for this land and for its people. I once told myself that I would never speak of these events again. Facing the fact that she is gone is unbearably painful. But even the tea that is most bitter to the tongue, once swallowed, leaves some sweetness in the throat. And it's time I came to terms with it all.
Oh, while we're on the topic, since you had...
Brother? I had heard that you were looking for your family. You mean to say that he was somehow involved in the Conria disaster?
Based on what we've learned so far, it seems so, yeah.
I'm sorry. I wasn't there for the whole thing. By the time I arrived, the worst of the fighting was already over, and also, my mind was consumed entirely with the plight of Inazuma, and the fate of those closest to me. So, I am afraid I can't help you.
Oh, well, that's boy. Both of you have experienced great tragedy.
With this last cup of tea, let us honor the team. Thank you, Destiny, for giving us the chance to meet again.
We should go. Let's keep following the traces.
Very well. Based on my investigation so far, I believe this next pack of monsters should be the last. Once again, please leave them to me.
Hey!
Fear not. Fighting is what I do best.
Sao giọng nghe rặng ghê.
Ôi, không có đi là đánh nhau rồi đi. Người trai.
Are you alright?
I'm fine. Inazuma shines eternal. Illusion shattered. Remove all obstacles.
Maybe you should leave this one to us.
My apologies.
Don't worry about it. We'll deal with the
Đúng rồi.
That's the same light again.
Where am I? Who are you? Oh, Almighty Shogun, you're here too. Are you injured, Your Excellency?
I'm quite all right. Just feeling a little stiff.
We, the Shogun and Samurai, will defend the Shogun until the very end. Come on, guys. They're coming back for more.
Don't! It's too dangerous.
Danger is our duty, ma'am. If we were the kinds to shy away from danger, we never would have taken up arms to begin with.
No need to worry, Almighty Shogun. When the situation looks bleak, we will draw on the power granted to us by the gods.
Is that a vision?
It certainly is. I know the gods are omnipotent, and their willingness to grant their power to humans means they have high expectations for us. If the Almighty Shogun is in trouble, now of all times is the moment for us to honor that.
So that's how samurai of that era understood visions, huh?
Nobody knew where Your Excellency had gone, and we were starting to despair. But now we've found you. You're right, just the sight of you appearing before us once more has reignited the hope in our hearts. This hope is the light that will guide us out from the darkness.
Still crying at fuck.
Everyone, on me!
We'll help you!
Huh? Affirmative, but watch your backs.
Okay.
Protect the Almighty Shogun!
Let's get it on! Yeah! You asked for it!
Đánh đầu á.
Gotcha! Here comes the catch!
Đâm đầu quét chứ đùa.
It seems like their attacks are finally over.
I've never fought so fiercely before.
Thank you all.
Are you
I'm fine. I feel much better already.
You fought phenomenally. It was truly awe-inspiring. The monsters will definitely come back. And when they do, it'll be more than a few Rift Hounds this time.
Chó sang ma Phật.
Escort Her Excellency back to Inazuma City and regroup with the General's forces as soon as possible.
When everyone sees the almighty Shogun safely returning, their spirits will be lifted.
Phong.
What are you guys gonna do?
We will stay here and guard against the monsters' advance. We cannot afford to let them get any further. We are brothers in arms. As long as we stick together, we can face any number of monsters that come our way.
Just leave it to us. Fighting is what we do best.
Một cái tôm nó y như thế. Ê chứ thì không có
But the almighty Shogun is the only one of us with the power to change the present state of affairs. Only Her Excellency can turn back the tide of despair and lead us on no matter what kind of threat faces Inazuma. We will always place our faith in the almighty Shogun.
Thank you all very much. I promise you that I will create a bright future for Inazuma. I should not have left it this late to make this promise. But from this moment forth, know that I shall be true to my word.
Don't worry, Your Excellency. We will never doubt your word as long as we live. With you leading us, we will claim back everything that Inazuma has lost.
Glory to the Shogun!
Rồi, đi rồi.
Glory to the Shogun!
They're gone.
It was both. The people's sacrifice has always caused me immense pain. The result being that in the centuries since their sacrifice, I have dishonored their will. You could take the view that whatever I say to them is meaningless, because they are but even so, they are due a resolution. I owe it to them, and to all the people who have placed their faith in me to date.
Em đang khóc.
Bắt được á 50.000 ok không? Còn bắt mà sai là được là 50.000.
Đang khóc. Cry nha Phật.
Paimon thinks that even if it's a few hundred years later, you're doing right by them now, and that's what counts.
Rồi mai bắt mà mai bắt camera mà giờ check thì nó làm gì đúng không?
Thank you for your comforting words. But this is my basic duty as Inazuma's Archon. And I used to think just like that samurai, that I was first and foremost a warrior, and my only duty was to face whatever challenge came my way. But what Inazuma needs more than a warrior is someone like Makoto. Even though I am utterly unlike Makoto, and can never become the person she was, I still need to do the things that she would have done. Yes,
Em Hùng này nói đạo lý nhiều quá.
they are strong and resilient, and have much to be proud of. As the Raiden Shogun they revere, I should not be the one to hold them back.
What? Không.
Well said. Sounds to Paimon like you figured things.
Change will come to Inazuma, and with it, new possibilities. This will take time. No matter how long it takes, I am committed to bringing this to fruition. Now that we've dealt with the Rift Hounds, this matter is halfway resolved. I will leave the Tenryo and Yashiro commissions to handle the follow-up work, such as investigating the origins of this incident and tending to the root system.
Alrighty then, let's move on. It looks calm on the outside. She seems to have changed. Huh? What's wrong, eh? What's going on? Are you feeling unwell again?
It looks like the situation. No need. She is calling me. me.
See?
Can you help me walk? I need to go to the cave below the Grand Narukami Shrine.
Why? What?
A battleground. One where I shall sever ties with the past and take the first steps into the future.
Cái bộ cứ sướng tương lai. Nó ở đây nữa không? Bè học bè giáp.
Sao rồi em? Không nghĩ được luôn ấy. Chưa làm mà. Em thành cổ mà đâu mà đơn rồi. Có một phút thằng đó.
Bè.
Nó bỏ đâu. Nó đâu bộ gì à?
Có anh ăn chưa? Mệt thế nha. Mệt thế nha. Rồi mình đi đâu thế?
We're finally here. The entrance should be nearby.
Wow.
Whoa! Where'd that Tory gate come from?
It's getting worse again. This is a place I once sealed off with my own hands. The entrance to Raiden Makoto's realm of consciousness. It looks like she will no longer allow me to do with this body as I please.
What are you talking about? And who is she? Makoto?
Tôi ra nhìn xuống.
Ủa em nói bao nhiêu ta? Em rồi em thích mà. Mẹ.
Follow me.
Ui lâu quá. To đầu quá.
Ok.
To đầu mãi đường hả? Đâu còn lá đâu. Mẹ. Nhưng mà em
This place. It's another A.
An A.
We meet again, traveler. This body is an assistant to the one within, but it is also the guardian of the rules. Should the one within wish to stray from the rules, this body shall stand in her way.
Wait, Paimon knows that voice. Is that the puppet?
You have wandered the realm in my body, and you appear to have grasped the true essence of eternity. You believe your present self has greater certainty than your former self. Thus, you believe your present self is correct. But have you really been enlightened with new ideas? Or have you been degraded by irreversible erosion?
Là sự mày màu à.
I'm here to show you my answer. We are both warriors, and the dialogue we must now have shall be conducted by the blade alone.
Wait. The atmosphere in here just took a turn for the worse. Are you alright now?
The discomfort I was experiencing earlier was caused by the Shogun rejecting my continued use of her body. As she indicates, once I started entertaining the idea of change, I became hostile in her eyes.
Ok, vì thay đổi suy nghĩ là kẻ thù của tháng.
But inside a realm of consciousness, I exist independently of her. She cannot affect me in this way. Though she is a puppet, the Shogun has her own consciousness too. When necessary, she appears here to confront me.
Cái kia bao bì bên hàng.
Paimon gets that everyone has their internal battles and stuff, but not like this. It's a bit extreme.
Đâm tự thân vào thân mình.
Hey, showdown with the Shogun. Never thought we'd see that day.
The rules I set for the Shogun are... No. The Shogun herself is the manifestation of my past ideals. The very foundation stone. I would not try to change her if it wasn't necessary.
Isn't there any other way? Can't you talk it through or something?
Có phải là không rồi.
But they both just want the best for Inazuma.
My form is a symbol of supreme majesty in which has been vested power over all the realm. It is the cohesive embodiment of all that constitutes the right. It inherits A's pain, the pain of inevitable loss that comes as she moves forward. So too does it inherit her determination to reach eternity. Every action undertaken is for the sake of resisting erosion. Determination, courage, love, hatred, all of these will be degraded and distorted by the incessant flow of time. Only rules shall remain constant for eternity. Those were my thoughts when I created you. Now, they are towering obstacles that I have no choice but to overcome.
Đâm vào thành trong quá khứ.
You wish to make yourself my enemy? I am your past, the everlasting law, the guardian of eternity. And I am she who promised a dream to her subjects. Write an A. In the end, even the proud and mighty only maiden has cut down its rest. The blade has been cleansed of the blood and filth. Never shall it shine as brightly as it once did. Shine down!
Ui, đã hay rồi. Ở đây.
Now you shall perish.
The
eye sweeps the land. Pathetic. There is no escape. Inazuma shines eternal. The glittering sakura blossoms that once filled the skies fell to the ground as pitch black rain. As long as the blade lasts glow, the relentless erosion of time will never stop. Your earth is decided. You shall perish. This world, a fleeting shadow. Be gone! Shine down! Inazuma shines eternal! The divine lightning that envelops all of Inazuma will fade silently into the clouds. There shall never be another. Never. For the rest of time. Assumed and transcended.
Yeah.
Weak. Inferior. The eye sweeps the land. There is no escape. Inazuma shines eternal. Only emptiness awaits.
Đó.
Finally defeated him.
Sáng mới cục phép.
It appears your martial prowess has not dulled. But how long can your will remain strong?
How the heck?
In this realm of consciousness, her existence is tenacious indeed. She was built to resist erosion. Her will is stronger than any other living beings, including you and me.
Does that mean this is gonna be a never-ending battle?
Maybe. But I have to prove to her that my present will is no product of erosion. The future I shall forge will be a grand undertaking. One that will be resistant to... If I don't do this, the Shogun's rules can never change, and Inazuma can never move forward. This is my duty. No matter how long this battle may last, months, years, centuries, and no matter how many 500 years ago, humanity proved their strength in battle.
Đây là phải dẫn Inazuma lên trước một cách tuyệt vời.
Here in the present, they rely on their ambition to challenge wayward practices, tear them out like the diseased wood of an old sakura tree, so that... It is about time that I learn to trust them. I understand that. But if the dreams of which Makoto spoke are true eternity, a short moment for which the Shogun does not exist is nothing to fear. I fight for the everlasting future of Inazuma. I vow to the subjects of Inazuma that I shall one day return. This is my oath. During my absence.
But this means that...
Pass on my words.
Này thì đóng ra ngoài rồi. Buồn chưa?
Looks like we got kicked out. What do we do? She was making sense. And maybe this is the only way to change the Shogun's rules, but still... Right? Also, A can be pretty stubborn at times, and has a history of rushing into difficult situations. What if she gets too obsessed with winning, and she forgets why she's there in the first place? It could happen. Yeah, we should help her out. Like, is there any way we can cut down how long she needs to spend in there? Or, you know, help her win the fight? Well, whatever. We can't let anything... Oh, but we also can't get it. Okay, well, first things first. We gotta find a way back in.
Đi lập đầu đá đi bay mon. Để đi.
Oh, you're right. Paimon nearly forgot about her. Who knows if she really understands these conscious...
Someone's not in the best of moods. Let me guess. You're all... I hope you realize how lucky you are. If it was anyone else, I don't think I'd have the patience to keep greeting them with a smile after the first few times.
But you're always smiling.
That was a figure of speech. Do you understand? Nitpicking my turns of phrase. The sheer audacity.
What? Đùa.
Oh, yeah. Something really big's happened.
Oh, okay, I see. So, A's decided to palm Inazuma off on the humans, while she goes off on her own to fight a fierce battle that doesn't even have an end date.
U mưa vàng. Ủa, nào ra sáng rồi đó. Mẹ bãi luôn. Nhà đạo sĩ sao đạo sĩ chuột ca.
Impossibly stubborn. Jumps straight to the most extreme course of action imaginable. Presumes her sheer will can see her through, despite a near impossible goal that requires nothing short of the very peak of her abilities. Yes, that sounds like Ale, right? You know as well as I do that she's always been like this. I rushed into it without thinking. Well put. Oh, she acts like such a child sometimes.
Because she is a child.
So you seem to be under the impression that I am able to offer some sort of help? Who gave you... Aha! You're a learning little one. But really, the truth of the matter is that I don't know much more about Raiden Makoto's realm of conscience. All I know is that it's the foundation of the sacred Sakura. And from what I've heard, it's a little different from A's plane of euthymia.
Rồi giúp đi. Thì nó nhảm khá đây. Ông chữ cùng bao nhiêu nữa? Đây chữ đồ lẻ cuối cùng. Đấy kìa, để đích đi pha tuôn luôn. Thiên thời địa lợi nhân hòa. Up level đấy.
Because Raiden Makoto is no longer alive?
Not just because of that. The nature of the space itself is different in some way. But I can only... Anyway, we needn't worry about the details too much. It'll just be a little difficult to explain things first.
Oh yeah, let's see. Yeah.
Now then, I always have my ways. It's just a question of how crafty I need to be.
Cách thì lúc nào cũng có, thì còn một chút giao hòa.
To the outsider, the realm of consciousness is a very abstract concept. Luckily, I'm A's familiar. In other words, even though I can't pinpoint the exact spatial location of this realm, I can...
So, it's abstract, but has a location.
That's
Where it is.
Yes, no need to try and understand it. Let me put this simply. Right now, she is surrounded by chaos.
Bắn mẹ camera đi làm gì? Hả? Không anh 4 triệu lực đâu, bắn mẹ. Rồi vô ai làm gì? Hả? Trời, con nhiên XR đi đầu bây giờ.
Everything is turbulent and disordered. If you try to force your way in, you could be swept away by a giant wave that sets you down in an unknown corner of space-time.
Okay.
This is precisely why when entering the plane of euthymia, it's much safer if you place your...
What? Alright, well, I might see you then.
Suit yourself. Worst case scenario, always stand to lose is A. So what's the big deal?
Paimon's coming too.
Có nhiều bay môi của mình nhiều.
Well, if you're quite sure, then of course. Now, I shall send you on your way.
Gây nè.
I say, oh, nothing. It just seems extraordinarily chaotic, that's all. By the way, remember to focus constantly on your only a strong enough will can prevent you from being... Well then, the door's open. Hop on in. I'll stay outside and provide what's... I'm placing my god in your capable hands. For my sake, and for Inazuma's, please. Bring her back.
I'll be back.
Rico, you better know what you're doing.
That's enough chatter. Get to work.
Ôi.
Remember to focus constantly on your heartfelt wishes when you enter inside. Only if you are strong enough can I deliver you to the right destination.
Nhưng mà cái này không, không nghĩ cái này là anh bỏ lại một rau để cái tiền. Đưa con nhí xuống dưới. Không, dưới xin lừa. Back.
Huh? How can this be? You have returned. But how were you able to get back in? And how come you have not changed at all in all these years? This is a duel to remember. It is as if we have returned to the moment when the laws of eternity were first established. Your will today is as strong as it was back then. Over countless battles, not once have you lost, and never have you shown the slightest hesitation. Had I made all enemies of eternity stand against you, you still would not have wavered. For your firm commitment to enforcing the rules, you have my admiration too. You bring honor to the title of Guardian of Eternity. Now these two return once more to this space. An inevitability of fate, perhaps. Then, let this be our final duel, the conclusion to that which began 500 years ago. Final duel? Stand back, traveler. I'm going to be the start of something new.
Ủa, con Hoài ghét đổi vị trí đi đây nha. Nhưng mà con trai quan trọng nữa. Rồi.
The time our duels took to fight was long enough to witness the rise and fall of great enough to
Mẹ mua đánh cái đó thiệt hả?
and will endure forever.
Rồi.
Shine down. Perish. Illusion shattered. Eternity is in my hands. Shine down. is the end. I believed you were incapable of transcending the past. But it seems my belief was baseless, and I underestimated your spirit. But a will that cannot be eroded has no way to embrace the future. You need not worry about the future, and you aren't alone. I know your power more than anyone else. Had I relied upon my strength alone, I would have lost this duel for sure. Yet, my reason for fighting redefined my martial prowess and redrew my limits. I now carry the gaze of the myriad of expectant eyes that look to the light in the heavens. And whenever I think of this, I feel something stirring within Muso Ishi, the blade that I inherited from Makoto seems to be trying to guide me. I noticed it also. Just now in the heat of battle, it seemed to unleash a new and unfamiliar power. This power is beyond the limits of my understanding. This blade belonged to Makoto. Perhaps it can only respond to me with its full power. When I clasped Muso Ishin in my hands, I had the feeling that she was by my side once. It was at once a familiar feeling and a strange one.
Cảm ơn các bạn đã theo dõi. Hẹn gặp lại các bạn vào những video tiếp theo. Mình sẽ kết thúc livestream còn 5 giây nữa nhé.